I never thought a simple trip to the bathroom could change my life. But one cold morning, while reaching for a towel, I lost my balance and the next thing I remember was waking up in the hospital. No broken bones, thank God, but a bruised hip, a shaken mind, and a warning I couldn't ignore. The truth is, most seniors like me are just one small slip away from serious injury. And the worst part, it's not the obvious dangers, it's the daily habits we don't even realize are risky. Let me walk you through what I learned, so you don't have to learn it the hard way. The morning that changed everything. I used to think of my bathroom as just another room, a routine part of my day, nothing more than a place to wash up, brush my teeth, and take my daily shower. But one chilly morning not too long ago, it became the setting of a moment that changed my life and my perspective forever. It was around 6:30 a.m. I remember the time because I glanced at the wall clock while pulling myself out of bed. I had just finished reading an article the night before about staying active and maintaining routines. So I told myself, no skipping the morning shower today. My knees were a little stiff from the night, and there was a slight chill in the air. I shuffled over to the bathroom, as I always did, half awake, wrapped in my old bathrobe and fuzzy slippers. I remember turning on the shower and waiting for the water to warm up. Steam began to rise, fogging up the mirror. As I stepped onto the bathroom tile, I noticed a small puddle of water near the sink. I must have spilled some the night before while brushing my teeth. I thought about wiping it up, but dismissed it. It was just a few drops. No big deal, right? That's when it happened. As I stepped back from the counter to reach for my towel hanging behind the door, my foot landed on that small, forgotten puddle. In an instant, my leg slipped forward, and I felt my whole body shift in a way it was never meant to. I tried to grab the edge of the sink to steady myself, but my hand missed. The next thing I knew, I was falling. I can't describe how fast and how slow it all felt. It was like time froze in the middle of a scream. My hip hit the floor first, then my elbow, then my head just barely grazing the edge of the tub. The pain was sharp, sudden, and shocking. I lay there for what felt like an eternity, staring up at the ceiling, unable to move. That's when the fear set in. I live alone. There was no one around to hear me, no phone within reach. I started to panic. What if I couldn't get up? What if I had broken something? What if this was how it would all end, not with a bang, but with a slip? Thankfully, after about 15 minutes of breathing deeply and calming myself, I managed to inch my way to the bedroom and reach my phone. A few hours later, I was in the emergency room. No broken bones, but a severely bruised hip and a twisted shoulder that would take weeks to heal. The doctors told me I was lucky, very lucky, but I didn't feel lucky. I felt vulnerable. I felt embarrassed, and most of all, I felt scared. That fall shook something loose inside me, not just physically, but mentally. It made me question every habit I had taken for granted over the years. How many times had I walked across a wet floor, climbed out of the shower without holding on, or left the light off in the middle of the night just to avoid wasting electricity? For the first time, I realized the bathroom, this quiet, private space, was actually one of the most dangerous places in my entire home. The truth is, no one ever told me to think differently. No doctor ever warned me that my bathroom habits could be harming me. No one ever said, you need to rethink the way you move in that space. But after that morning, I couldn't not see it. I began replaying everything in my mind. What could I have done differently? Why did I assume that I was still moving like I did in my 40s or 50s? I knew my balance had changed. I knew my reaction times were slower. So why didn't my habits reflect that? Because like most of us, I thought I was still fine. And maybe that's the biggest danger of all, the illusion that everything is okay until it isn't. That fall was a turning point, not just because of the injury, but because of the message it sent. I didn't just need to recover. I needed to rethink my habits, rethink my routines, rethink what I believed about aging and safety. It's funny, after years of worrying about high blood pressure, cholesterol, or memory loss, I never gave a second thought to a puddle of water on a bathroom tile. But it turns out, that's where the real threat was hiding all along. And I'm not alone. After that incident, I began talking to friends, reading articles, even attending a community health seminar on fall prevention. I was shocked to learn that the majority of home injuries in seniors happen in the bathroom. Slips, falls, burns, fainting, even fractures from something as small as reaching too far or losing balance while brushing teeth. That realization was both humbling and empowering. Humbling because I saw how much I didn't know. Empowering because I realized how many of these injuries were preventable, so I made it my mission to do something about it, not just for me, but for everyone who's getting older and trying to stay independent. I started tracking my bathroom routines, identifying risky habits, and slowly replacing them with safer ones. It wasn't about giving up my independence, it was about preserving it. I want to share everything I've learned, it not just to tell a cautionary tale, but to equip you with tools that could truly save your health, and maybe even your life. Because the bathroom isn't going anywhere, and neither are we. We just have to get smarter about how we use it. If you've ever said, it won't happen to me, please keep watching. I said the same thing, and now I know better. Why bathrooms are the most dangerous room in the house. After my fall, I found myself staring at my bathroom with a mix of fear and frustration. This tiny space smaller than my kitchen or living room suddenly felt like a jungle of hidden traps. I used to walk in there without a second thought. Now, I studied every corner as if it were a crime scene. I decided to do a little digging. The very next day, while resting my sore hip on the couch, I grabbed my iPad and typed into the search bar, "Where do seniors fall most often in the home?" And there it was, dozens of articles, studies, and expert interviews confirming exactly what I had just lived through. The bathroom is the single most dangerous room in the house for older adults. Slippery tiles, low toilet seats, steamy mirrors, tight corners, the absence of handles, rugs that curl at the edges, wet floors, sudden temperature changes. All of it adds up to one big hazard zone, one we all underestimate until it's too late. I found a report from the CDC stating that over 230,000 non-fatal bathroom injuries occur in people aged 65 and older every year in the US. And here's the kicker. More than 80% of those injuries are caused by slips and falls. Can you believe that? It's not the stairs, not the garage, not even the kitchen. It's the bathroom. As I read, I began nodding to myself. Every single statistic reflected a part of my life. I always stepped out of the shower without a mat. I never had a grab bar near the toilet. I used my old bath rug, the one with no non-slip backing. My shampoo bottles were lined up perfectly, but one false reach could have thrown off my balance. I couldn't help but think, why don't we talk about this more? We plan for retirement. We buy insurance, we take heart pills, check our glucose, and get annual eye exams. But we don't spend 10 minutes looking at our bathrooms with honest eyes. Maybe because we think modifying a bathroom makes us old. But let me tell you, breaking your hip will make you feel a lot older than installing a grab bar ever will. As I sat there, still nursing the bruises from my fall, I realized the real danger wasn't just the bathroom, it was my mindset. I was still living like I had the balance, strength, and reaction speed of a I didn't want to admit that I needed to change how I moved. But aging gracefully doesn't mean resisting change. It means anticipating it. I remembered my grandfather. He had a small stool in his shower. At the time, I thought it was unnecessary. He's just being overly cautious, I used to say, but now, I wished I'd followed his example sooner. That stool could have saved me a fall. That rubber mat I once laughed at could have kept me on my feet. I even started noticing things I'd never paid attention to, like how my towel rack wobbled a little when I used it for balance, something it was never meant to support, or how dim the lighting was above my bathroom mirror, or how high the edge of the tub was compared to my knee. All these details suddenly screamed, "You're not safe here, unless you change something." And so I began to take inventory. I walked through the bathroom slowly, this time not as someone following routine, but as a detective searching for clues. I asked myself questions like, do I have to twist my body to reach the toilet paper? Do I lean over too far to grab shampoo? Is there anything in here that would stop me from getting up if I fell again? One by one, I made a list. Then, I called my son. I told him, I need to make some changes, and I need your help. I want to stay independent, but I also want to stay alive. We laughed, but we both knew I was serious. The very next weekend, he came over with a few tools and a shopping bag from the hardware store. We installed a grab bar next to the toilet and another one inside the shower. We replaced my slippery rug with a proper non-slip mat. We added motion sensor lighting. We even moved a few frequently used items into easier reach. None of it cost much. None of it took more than an afternoon. But let me tell you, those small changes made a huge difference in how safe I felt. More importantly, it made me feel smart, proactive, like I was taking control, rather than waiting for another accident to remind me how fragile life can be. I shared all this with my neighbor Doris the next day, and she said something that stuck with me. We baby-proof our homes for our grandchildren. Maybe it's time we senior-proof them for ourselves. She was right. If you're watching this and thinking, I'm still steady, or I haven't fallen yet, I get it. I was there too. But falls don't wait until you're ready. They don't knock on the door. They come in the blink of an eye, and they don't just hurt physically. They steal your confidence, your independence, and sometimes your future. Didn't make changes because I was scared of falling again. I made changes because I want to live better, longer, and safer on my own terms. And here's the truth. Most of the dangers in your bathroom aren't obvious until you fall. But once you see them, you'll never unsee them. And once you change them, you'll wonder why you didn't do it sooner. I'm not trying to scare you, I'm trying to spare you. So before you step into that bathroom tomorrow morning, take a look around. Really look. Ask yourself, if I slipped right now, what would catch me? If the answer is nothing, it's time to act. And don't worry. I'm going to walk you through all the sneaky habits most of us don't think about. The ones that build up over time and quietly increase your risk. Some of them might surprise you, but I promise, once you know better, you'll live better. Let's talk next about the habits, the little things we do every day, that may be putting us at risk without even knowing it. Habits you didn't know were dangerous. You know what surprised me the most after my fall? It wasn't the pain, or even the bruises. It was realizing how many of my everyday habits were quietly putting me in danger. I wasn't being reckless. I wasn't rushing. I was just going about my routine, and yet those tiny, harmless-seeming choices nearly landed me in a nursing home. I want to share with you the habits I had, the same ones many seniors still do, without even realizing the risks. Let me take you through my typical morning before the fall. I'd wake up around 6:30, shuffle into the bathroom still half asleep, and immediately flick on the light. No warm-up stretches, no sitting down for a moment, just straight into standing. My balance was always a bit shaky when I first woke up, but I figured that was normal. Then I'd step over the rim of my tub to take a shower. No grab bar, no mat. Just one hand on the wall, and the other holding my towel or shampoo. I'd shampoo, standing up with my eyes closed, occasionally tilting my head back too far, and getting a bit dizzy from the steam. Once out, I'd step directly onto a bathroom rug, soft, but slippery underneath. Sometimes I'd lean on the sink counter for support as I dried my feet, balancing on one leg like a flamingo, and my towel that was always on a high hook, making me stretch to grab it with wet feet on a smooth floor. Looking back, it's amazing I didn't fall sooner. Here's the thing, these are the small, unconscious habits that most of us have developed over decades. They don't feel dangerous until the day they are. So let's break down a few that I learned the hard way. 1. Stepping into the tub without support. We often don't think twice about stepping over the edge of a bathtub, but that high step, especially when you're sleepy or stiff from arthritis, can easily throw off your balance. I used to rely on the towel rack for support, not realizing it wasn't built to hold my weight. When I nearly fell one morning, I realized the edge was slippery. My knee wasn't as strong as it used to be, and there was nothing solid to grab if I lost balance. Now, I have a vertical grab bar right next to the tub and a small stool I can sit on when I need to wash my legs. Honestly, I feel safer every time I use it. 2. Standing during long showers. When you're young, standing in the shower feels like nothing. But the older we get, the more standing still on a hard, wet surface becomes risky. Combine that with steam, slippery soap, and shampoo in your eyes, and you've created the perfect setup for a fall. Now, I shower while sitting on a waterproof stool with a handheld shower head. I thought it would feel limiting, but it actually feels luxurious, like a spa day, every day. And it's much easier to wash those hard-to-reach spots. 3. Rushing the routine. In my 40s and 50s, I was always in a hurry. That habit stuck even after retirement. I'd rush from the toilet to the sink, from the shower to the closet. But speed and safety don't go hand in hand. I remember once I tried to dry off too quickly and slipped when I leaned over. Since then, I've made a rule. No multitasking in the bathroom. No brushing teeth while drying my feet. No stretching for lotion while standing on a wet mat. One step at a time, deliberate and slow. And honestly, it's brought peace to my mornings. 4. Reaching too far. My toilet paper holder was mounted far behind me, something I never noticed in my younger years. But twisting my spine and reaching that far at 70 plus, that's a recipe for a pulled muscle or a balance loss. It's the same with high cabinets, low shelves, or trying to stretch across the counter for a razor. Now, everything I need is within arm's reach. I even placed some non-slip organizers on the counter so nothing rolls away. It's all about reducing unnecessary movements. 5. Using low toilets without hand support. Seating down and standing up from a low toilet may seem harmless, but for aging knees and weaker thighs, it can be a real strain. I used to push off the toilet seat or counter until the day I nearly lost my balance standing up too fast, so I got a raised toilet seat with side handles, and I tell you, it changed everything. I feel so much more stable and confident. I even installed a grab bar nearby for extra support. 6. Cluttered counters and scattered products. I used to have bottles of lotion, toothpaste, mouthwash, shaving cream, you name it, spread across every inch of the bathroom counter. When you're in a rush, it's easy to knock something over, and if that bottle lands on the floor, bending to pick it up could mean losing your footing down. I keep only what I need on the counter and store the rest in a small drawer organizer. Fewer items, fewer risks. 7. Walking barefoot on tile floors. I used to walk barefoot everywhere in the house, but tile, especially when even slightly wet, is treacherous. I've since started wearing anti-slip slippers that give me support and grip, especially first thing in the morning and right after a shower. These small adjustments, these micro changes don't just reduce injury risk, they build confidence. They return control. I went from feeling fragile and fearful in my own bathroom to feeling secure and in charge. What I want you to take away is this. It's not just about avoiding injuries. It's about extending independence. Because one injury, one fall can spiral into surgeries, rehab, even relocation to assisted living. But when we address the habits early, we rewrite that future. You don't need to be scared of your bathroom. You just need to outsmart it. And now that we've talked about these unconscious habits, it's time to go even deeper. Small bathroom changes that save lives. If you had told me 5 years ago that a few cheap bathroom accessories could literally save my life, I probably would have laughed. I always believed that staying healthy meant eating right, exercising, and seeing the doctor regularly. But no one ever told me that the layout and setup of my bathroom could be just as important as any prescription. After my scaran, trust me, it was a real scare. I started researching. I spoke to occupational therapists, watched videos, and even consulted with a friend's daughter who works in home safety for seniors. What I discovered wasn't just eye-opening, it was life-changing. And the best part? Most of the safety upgrades I made cost less than a nice dinner out. Let me walk you through exactly what I changed and how each one brought back freedom, confidence, and peace of mind into my daily routine. 1. Grab bars. My morning life. Start with the big one. I used to think grab bars were only for people in wheelchairs or nursing homes, but now, I swear by them. I installed a vertical grab bar right at the entrance to my tub and a horizontal one inside. Not only does this give me something solid to hold on to while stepping in and out, but it also helps me maintain balance while standing under the water. And they aren't ugly industrial pipes. Either modern grab bars come in sleek designs and colors that actually match my tiles. One day, I slipped slightly, stepping out, and my hand instinctively grabbed the bar. That tiny moment convinced me I'd made the right call. Without it, I might have gone down 2 non-slip mats. Goodbye, throw rugs I used. To have one of those plush bathroom rugs, the kind that feels great on your feet, but beneath that softness, it was a slick, dangerous trap. The backing wore down over time, and one day it bunched up when I stepped on it. Now, I use rubber-backed non-slip mats that grip the floor. I even placed one inside the shower and another right where I step out. Both have a strong grip and are washable. For the shower itself, I added pebble-textured adhesive strips like those they use in hotels. My feet feel secure every time I move. 3. Raised toilet seat with handles. You know what's tricky when your knees start to ache and your thighs lose strength? Getting up from a low toilet? I didn't notice it in my 60s, but by the time I hit 70, it became a real chore. After a few close calls, I installed a raised toilet seat with built-in side handles. That few extra inches in height made a huge difference. Now, I don't need to lean forward dangerously or use shaky surfaces to push myself up. It's such a simple fix, and one of the most effective. 4. Shower chair and handheld shower head. I used to stand during my entire shower, even though I often got tired halfway through. I didn't want to see mold. I didn't want to give up that freedom. But after one particularly dizzy morning, I gave in and bought a shower chair. Let me tell you, I wish I'd done it years earlier. Sitting during the shower is not only safer, it's actually relaxing. I can take my time, wash thoroughly, and not feel rushed. Pairing it with a handheld shower head made everything even easier. Plus, when my grandkids come over, they think it's a fun little spa chair. Everyone wins. 5. Better lighting. An automatic night light stripping happens most often when you can't see clearly, and bathroom lighting can be tricky, especially at night. I swapped out the old yellow bulb for a bright white LED, and I placed motion sensor nightlights by the door and along the hallway. Now, if I need to use the bathroom at 2 a.m., I don't even have to fumble for a switch. I even installed a battery-operated light strip under the sink so I can see clearly when reaching for things. Simple and smart. 6. Wall-mounted dispensers and storage bins. One of the most annoying and surprisingly dangerous things in my bathroom was knocking over bottles of shampoo or body wash. I'd bend to pick them up, and more than once, I lost my footing doing it. Now I use wall-mounted dispensers in the shower for soap, shampoo, and conditioner. No more bottles, no more clutter, and everything is easy to access, even while sitting. I also added small plastic bins inside the cabinet under the sink, organizing everything by category. No more stretching or searching while bent over. 7. Grippy, supportive bathroom slippers. I used to walk barefoot or wear smooth-soled slippers in the bathroom, but now I've got non-slip cushioned bathroom footwear that gives me traction and comfort. They're easy to slip on, machine washable, and they've saved me from more than one awkward slip, especially when the floor is even a little damp. 8. Tension pole for extra support. One of the best purchases I ever made was a floor-to-ceiling tension pole. It fits snugly between the floor and ceiling and acts as a vertical handrail I can grab from anywhere in the bathroom. I keep it next to the tub, and sometimes I use it just for a bit of extra confidence when I step out. It feels like a lifeline. 9. Emergency alert button. Last but not least, I now wear a waterproof medical alert button that works even in the shower. It's peace of mind I didn't realize I needed until I did. We never plan to fall. We never expect to be stuck. But if it happens, help is literally one button away. Looking around my bathroom today, I don't see a sterile or medical-looking room. I see a place that's thoughtfully designed, calming, and tailored to me. I no longer worry about accidents every time I take a shower or brush my teeth. The truth is, these changes didn't just make my bathroom safer, they made me feel younger. When you're confident in your surroundings, you're more independent, and that, my friend, is what growing older should feel like. Let me take you through a typical morning in my life. I'm not a superhero, I don't have perfect balance or iron knees. I'm a 73-year-old who just wanted to stop living in fear of falling in my own home, especially in the bathroom. And now, I've created a daily routine that's not just safe, but peaceful. It helps me start my day with a clear mind and strong body, and you can do the same. So here's my real routine. No fluff, no exaggeration, just what works. Step 1. Wake up. Prep 5:30 a.m. The older I get, the more I appreciate slow, mindful mornings. My first goal each day is to wake my body gently, not shock it. Before I even get out of bed, I wiggle my toes, rotate my ankles, stretch my arms, and take a few deep breaths. This helps stimulate circulation and gives my joints a gentle warm-up only. Then do I swing my legs out of bed, plant my feet firmly, and stand? No rushing, no guessing. Then I head to the bathroom, but with one small safety habit. I wear non-slip slippers designed specifically for older adults. Soft inside, rubber grip outside. They're my insurance policy with every step. Step 2. Safe entry into the bathroom as I walk in. My motion sensor nightlight gently lights up the floor. It might sound silly, but that little glow has saved me from many stubbed toes and accidental slips. I've removed all loose rugs and instead placed low-profile, anti-slip mats. The floor stays dry, and the risk of tripping is almost gone. Step 3. At the sink posture and stability. When I stand at the sink to brush my teeth or wash my face, I don't lean too far forward. That used to be a habit of mine, bending too much, balancing awkwardly on one leg as I reached across the counter. Now, I stay centered, and I keep a small grab bar mounted beside the sink, not for decoration, but for quick support. I also keep my frequently used items like toothpaste, moisturizer, and shaving kit within arm's reach in labeled bins. This way, I'm never stretching or bending over blindly. Step 4. My thoughtful shower routine. This is my favorite part of the morning, and believe it or not, it's also the safest it's ever been. I start by placing a towel nearby, within arm's reach from the shower chair. Then I turn on the water and test the temperature before I step in. A handheld shower head gives me full control. It's gentle on the skin and perfect for seated washing. I sit down on my sturdy shower chair, which is slip-proof and slightly angled for comfort. No more rushing to finish because of back pain or leg fatigue. I take my time washing, breathing, and sometimes even humming an old tune while I go. Soap, shampoo, and conditioner are all dispensed from wall-mounted pumps, so I'm never dealing with slippery bottles. Step 5. After shower, drying, and dressing. After the shower, I sit on a nearby bench. I don't rush to towel off while standing. I dry off slowly and pat, never rub, especially around sensitive skin or joints. My bathroom has a ceiling fan with a built-in heater that keeps the room warm, so I don't catch a chill during this step. Then I put on my robe, apply a little lotion to keep my skin hydrated, and slide into clothes I've laid out earlier. No bending into cabinets or closets. Step 6. Safe toilet use. Let's be honest, using the toilet can become tricky as we age, but it doesn't have to feel undignified. I installed a raised toilet seat with side handles that blend in naturally with the decor. They're sturdy, supportive, and I no longer have to use my knees like a lever. This simple upgrade means I can go about my routine confidently, no strain, no fear of tipping over when getting up. Step 7. A quick mental checklist before I leave the bathroom. I do a mental walkthrough. Did I leave water on the floor? Is everything I need within reach for next time? Is my emergency button clipped on? I even keep a small dry erase board on the wall near the mirror with 5 bathroom safety rules written in big letters. A quick glance reminds me that safety isn't an accident, it's a habit. What if something goes wrong? I wear a medical alert button 24/7 in the shower. It's waterproof and connects to emergency responders. I hope I never need it, but if I ever slip, fall, or feel faint, I can just press it. For anyone who thinks this is overkill, I'll say this: I'd rather press a button and feel embarrassed for overreacting than not be able to press it at all. Why this routine changed my life. I didn't just create a safer bathroom, I built a lifestyle of confidence and calm. The truth is, bathroom injuries can take away so much from us. Not just our health, but our independence. And once that goes, everything else becomes harder. This routine, it's not perfect, but it's mine. It helps me avoid slips, trips, and awkward movements. Keep my dignity every morning. Feel in control of my day from the moment I wake up. I don't dread showers anymore. I don't avoid going to the bathroom at night. I feel like my home supports me, not challenges me. Final words to you, my fellow senior CIF. You've made it this far. Thank you. I created this story not just to share my experience, but to help someone like you, someone who might be just one bathroom trip away from a painful fall. Don't wait for an accident to make changes. Don't assume safety means giving up beauty or comfort. Small choices add up. One non-slip mat, one grab bar, one brighter light, it all counts. We've earned our peace of mind. We've earned the right to move through our homes with confidence, not caution. So take it from me. Update your routine, upgrade your bathroom, and enjoy the freedom that comes from feeling safe every single day.